Hi, my name's Dave Kramer, and today I'm going to put a hardwood finish on this PVC pipe. Now, this idea isn't original to me. On YouTube there's a video where somebody's using a rasp to put the grooves in on the plastic and stuff, and I thought it was a really good idea. So I modified it in order to give me the look that I wanted to get, which was a hardwood finish. Last week I posted a picture of a grain that I put on this spear staff, and I'll get a close-up of it. Yeah, here's a close-up, and you can see the grain that I put on. It's a very hardwood grain. The lines are tight together, a dark finish, and I'm going to show you how I did that. Okay, first I start off with PVC pipe. And let's see, this is 120 grit sandpaper, and I just sand parallel to the surface of the pipe. So I want to go along with the pipe. I don't want to do any cross sanding or anything like this. I want all the grain to go with the pipe. So pretty aggressive sanding all over, enough to where all the lettering disappears, and then of course on the back side where there is no lettering, we want equal sanding all the way around. This will provide a nice tooth for the acrylic paint to stick onto. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Got all the lettering off of the pipe now. And next step, I'm going to take one of the 60 grit sandpaper stick that I learned off of Evil Ted's site. And it's pretty handy putting sandpaper on the stick. Okay, same thing is going to happen. I'm going to make parallel strokes down the PVC pipe. I'm going to press a little heavier. I want this 60 grit to really dig in and create some nice grooves. And then just rotating the pipe as I sand along. You're probably going to have to run a practice or two on this before you finally get the look you want, before you go on to a real project. Let's see what we got here. It's looking pretty good. I think I'm going to stop. Okay. Now I have all these wild, crazy PVC hairs that are just hanging off here. And so I'm going to use one of these sponge rags or sponge sandpapers that you can pick up from Lowe's or Home Depot. And it really doesn't matter going parallel to the surface on this one, so I can go any way I want to try to get some of those little PVC hairs off. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Got some nice grain in there. A lot of fine grains, and then spaced apart I got some of those deep grains from the 60 grit sandpaper, and that's looking pretty good. Okay, I'm going to apply the acrylic now. The first acrylic I'm going to apply is let's see, where's my brush? I guess you could use like a burnt umber color on there. I just mixed the burnt sienna with some black in it, and probably 2/3 black, 1/3 burnt sienna to get a really dark chocolate looking color. If you want even deeper looking grains, you could probably just use straight black. I also add a retarder in with my acrylic, and that gives me plenty enough time to put this on and then carefully rub it back to where I like it. If you use straight acrylic and you're painting this thin, it tends to dry rapidly, almost instantly. So work that on, get it into all the grooves. See, I'm going to lay it on a little thicker here. Because of the retarder, it's still very workable. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Let's grab a paper towel. Just wipe back. So you do some more. Okay, that's looking pretty nice. Let's see, because the retarder's in it, I can still flip it around. If I see an area that's still a little dark, I can still play with it. Okay, now I'm going to hit with the blow dryer. Okay, the grain is looking really nice on this. Turning out just the way I would like it. Again, if you want those grains to be even more graphic, put black in it. If you want it even more graphic, probably use a rasp or something that will dig deeper in there. But I wanted something very realistic for this Grecian spear I was making. Okay, the next color I'm going to use, here we go, cap that up, put that away, is, and these are acrylic paints. I've probably failed to mention that, but these are acrylic paints. Right now I'm going to be using a translucent acrylic oxide paint. There's different types when you get into the translucent oxides, the brown oxides, the red oxides. This happens to be a translucent oxide pigment number for those geeks, PR101. People will, or some paint companies will use it for their burnt sienna. And I added just a little bit of ultramarine blue, which is opposite on the color wheel, just to dull it down a little bit so it's not too red. I know that's a little geeky, but there's a lot of different translucent browns out there, and you can buy a whole set of them, and then you can pick and choose what kind of wood color that you want. The reason why I need a translucent one is I want the dark grains to really show up. And so, and this right now it has a nice brownish gray color, but I want to add a little bit more red into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and stroke this. It's going on fairly dark. And again, this also has that retarder in it. I'm only gonna do the end of this shaft because I want to get some tight shots of this later for the video. Okay, I coated it very well, went down very dark, and it should lighten up as soon as I rub it back a little bit. There we go. Now I got a little bit of a redder color appearing in here. And again, because I put the acrylic retarder in there, I have time to really work with it. Now on the long shaft that I did, it was 5 foot long, and I didn't know if I would have enough time, even with the retarder and the acrylic, so I actually did that with a translucent oil paint. And this is looking really nice. Rubbed off a little bit too much there, so add a little bit more. There, just a lighter rub. Okay, looking good. Looking good. Okay, there it is. A really nice dark wood finish. Let's get a nice, good, close camera shot of this. And pretty successful. So I wish you luck if you try this, and let me know what you think about the video. And that's it. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.